Welcome to the Bible study. We're glad you're here. And if this is your first time, just please note that the full transcript is down below. And while you're going down there, please hit the like and subscribe button, share it with a friend, leave a comment, let us know where you're listening from. And with that, let's get into Habakkuk 1, verse 5. Look among the nations and see, wonder and be astounded. For I am doing a work in your days that you would not believe if told. Some background. After finishing his complaint to God, Habakkuk receives an answer. It isn't clear whether Habakkuk really expected an answer, but God did. The response begins abruptly. God said, or an indication that God started speaking. However, it is obvious by the wording and the context that God showed up. An important thing to note, Habakkuk asked his questions in the singular, meaning that he was crying out as an individual, but God answers in the plural, meaning that he was giving his response not just to Habakkuk, but to the people. Look among the nations and see. In this phrase, God is answering using the very words from Habakkuk's complaint. Habakkuk's cry, "Why do you make me see iniquity? Why do you idly look at wrong?" From Habakkuk 1:3. God's answer, look among the nations and see. Too often, we are concerned with the events of our own limited world, relationships, local politics, local events, and local problems. Of course, this is important as it directly affects us, but God has a much bigger area of concern. The world, in this passage, God is urging people to raise their heads and look at what is happening around the world, to look toward the nations rather than merely to life within Judea. We believe that this message is still very relevant today as it was in Habakkuk's day. We live in a global world. One only needs to look at the news events of the day, and we find many have truly global implications. Wars, disease, disasters, technology to control people and populations, and so much more. Many Christians are beginning to believe that the events predicted in the Bible are coming true and that Christ's return is getting much closer. All you need to do is to look among the nations and see, wonder, and be astounded. Wonder and be astounded. Strong words from the Almighty God. It is almost as if Yahweh is exhorting his people to get excited as he is about to do something amazing and awesome. While this is good news and bad news, it is probably more bad news from Habakkuk's standpoint. The good news, God is working and will answer Habakkuk's complaint. The bad news, he will punish the nation of Judea and things are going to get far worse. For those of us anticipating Christ's imminent return, the good news is that Jesus is coming again and we with him. The bad news, things are going to get far, far worse. In Acts 13:40 and 41, Paul uses Habakkuk 1:5 to make a point about the gospel. Beware, therefore, lest what is said in the prophets should come about. Look, you scoffers, be astounded and perish. For I am doing a work in your days, a work that you will not believe, even if one tells it to you. In Habakkuk, God is warning that the Babylonians are coming. Paul uses the same warning to his Jewish audience not to reject the gospel, for the consequences would be far worse than a Babylonian invasion. Rejecting the gospel would result in their everlasting death and separation from the presence of God. The Lord stirring up the Babylonians to disciple Judea was a great work, but the saving work of the gospel of Jesus Christ was an even more incredible work, which you will never believe. Sometimes we have expectations of how God ought to work in our lives and in the world. Most people have preconceived ideas about God and how he is supposed to act in our opinion. However, God tells us in Isaiah 55:8 and 9, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. We often imagine that us trying to understand God is like an ant trying to understand advanced economics. As the ant doesn't have the capacity to fully understand us, neither do we have the capacity to fully understand God. Spend some time meditating on the fullness and greatness of God. Think what it means that God is omnipotent, meaning all-powerful, omniscient, meaning all-knowing, transcendent, meaning outside the constraints of time and space. Give him praise and thank him for that he loved us so much he sacrificed his only son so that we could be saved from our rebellion. That's our Bible study for this session. And if you made it this far, we just pray that God will bless you for reaching out to him and learning his word. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Again, the full transcript is down below. Share it with a friend, leave a comment, and we will see you on the next one.